Gotta call up, book. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Together.
What's happening, guys? Gene Campbell here, True Patriot Outfitters. So the question is, does better equipment make you a better angler? You know, that's a tough question to answer, in all truth. I know there's some very black and white approaches to this, but what I'm about to share with you here is based on my opinion, my experience, and I'll tell you, the answer isn't so quick and simple. I know a lot of guys like to explain away, better boat, better gear doesn't make you a better fisherman. At face value, you're right, but you're also wrong, and I'll explain why. The whole point of recreational fishing is to go out and enjoy the outdoors and enjoy the benefits and just the raw fun. Don't overthink it too far. Just getting out there and fishing, man. It's phenomenal, and that in and of itself is a completely different world than the tournament fishing environment. There used to be some guys that would give me the advice when I was first starting out. Just remember to have fun. Make sure you're out there having fun. Remember, just like you would if you'd go out with your buddies. And it worked for a little bit as far as the mental game. But to be honest with you, it led me down some slippery slopes, because tournament fishing is a game, okay? It's a strategy piece that has to come together. And it's very, very different than simply just going out to go fish with your pals, just checking out a place. So it requires a lot of different elements to all come together at a right time. It's not just about what type of angler you are. You have to be also a good strategist to put these things together to be consistent, okay? Lightning strikes, right? One win is one win. One good placement's one good placement. But to be consistent across the board, always in the money or always finishing well, that takes a lot of skill sets that come together. So here's my point. Does a better fishing rod make you a better fisherman, fisher person? No. By itself, it does not. But it absolutely can take your existing skill level and magnify it and improve it, okay? Do you need sunglasses to fish? No, but it certainly does extend the amount of time that you can be out there. It prevents long-term exposure damage to your eyes, and with a good set of polarized glasses, it allows you to see maybe some things in structure that other guys can't. Therefore, decisions can be made on a split-second notice. All the talk and all the arguments about the video game fishing and all this stuff, in my opinion, can be explained right down to the advancements in polarized sunglasses. You talk to the guys from back in the 70s and the 80s, they didn't have the type of eyewear that we have today. We didn't have that kind of understanding back then, and they've improved upon it. While that gap may not be as large as what a flasher to a forward-facing sonar is, it's still relevant today. The newer equipment allows you to hone skill sets. It allows you to amplify knowledge. Good equipment, newer equipment, will not fill the void of a skill, okay? You can't all of a sudden buy a cranking rod and go out on the water and be, at intermediate to advanced level working crankbaits. It's not going to do that. And as long as you're not approaching it like that, you're doing fine. But what it does do is allow those people, those anglers who understand crankbait fishing or who want to elevate their game, it allows them to do that. When you start getting these specific techniques, or you start getting these specific pieces of equipment that allow you to hone and magnify your skills. You can take any type of reel and any type of pole, and you can go out there and you can fish and you can catch fish, yes. When you're in the tournament game and you are wanting to go to the next level, you are going to be going against a large number of anglers that are using the latest, greatest bit of equipment on the planet. And with their skill sets, it's going to give them advantages. They're going to be slightly more efficient. If you go out without it, does it mean you can't beat them? No, it doesn't mean that. But does it reduce your chances of being able to compete against them? Absolutely. Unfortunately, that is, a lot of guys are going to hate me saying that, but it's the truth. Very much is the same as this aspect. Take the gear out of it. If you work a full-time job and you can get out to the lake once a week to go fishing, spend 2-3 hours, and you go and you try to compete against several other guys that are going out 5 days a week, staying on the water for 8 to 10 hours, 10 to 12 hours every day, I promise you their skills are far more frosty and far more efficient. Their movement in the boat is more precise, getting in and out of the water, putting fish in the boat, getting out, moving and navigating around that body of water. They're going to be far more familiar than you are. That's the point that I'm trying to get to with this, where you can scoff at the new equipment and you can, you don't need that. You don't need it. You're right, you don't. But if you truly want to compete at a higher level and you want to keep going up, you absolutely need to be using the best possible equipment that you can. Again, I'm not saying it doesn't completely rule you out. It's a game of percentages, it's a game of chances, and it's a game of high percentage. That's what we play with. That's what we go after. High percentage opportunity, because you're on a clock. You have a limited time that you can get something done. The reason this came into my head so much, and it's been resonating here, and I've been seeing it quite a bit online, is because this transition of us going from bass boats to kayaks has really brought into focus skill deficits. I can tell you, and I can 100% attest to this. In fishing from a kayak is a far more intimate and connected experience than fishing from the deck of my boat. Deck of the boat, we've worked very hard to allow me just to focus on fishing and fishing only. The boat handles a lot of my safety for me. The boat handles a lot of the comfort, the storage, the whole shebang. In a kayak, all those things have to be on your head. If you don't have 50% of your attention on your craft, at least when you're just floating around in there, you're going for a swim, or some of your gear's going for a swim. You have to be far more plugged in, and I can tell you firsthand, you are very in tune with the wind, with changes in direction, with water, the clarity, the wildlife. I mean, anything around you. You are far more plugged into it when you're in that kayak. There's no doubt about it. Now, it has its drawbacks, but it also has its pluses. I just think one's no better than the other, but I will say I'm very excited to continue this transition over. Our new canoe Unlimited is coming together nicely. We're trying to be slow and steady with it, although we are on the clock now. Truman's coming up real soon for us. But the piece, though, like I said, this immediately dismissing new equipment, forward-facing sonar, thinking that it's cheating. Anytime we get an advancement in the sport, people, there's a group of individuals out there that will shun away from this stuff, and that's cool, man. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But I can tell you this: if you're not in a position to be using or currently using some of the better equipment that you can get a hold of out there, and by better I mean gear that you trust, okay? Not just, if it's entry level stuff that you trust, cool. I'll be honest with you, I still have some $40-50 reels on my deck of my boat, and I love them. I clean them every year. I've had them for now 2-3 seasons, and they're still doing great. They're still working. Then I do have a few selection of some better reels in there that serve their purpose too. But at the same note, like I said, when you are going against a field of other anglers that are using this other equipment, that have those advantages to be more efficient, you know, scanning a brush pile. If I don't have forward-facing sonar running, I'm going to spend 20, 30 minutes on that brush pile to determine something that this other angler figured out in 5 minutes. Whether there were fish on there, relative size of those fish, and whether or not to stay there on that brush pile. I'm going to spend more time trying to figure that out than they are. That gives them an absolute advantage over time. And at the end of the day, time is really what we're up against during a lot of these tournaments, be it kayak or bass boat. So, like I said, the answer is we often search for a black and white answer. We often try to find quick, easy descriptions of things. Unfortunately, the reality usually comes down to it's not so black and white, and that's the same when it comes to better equipment. Obviously, if you can get it and you have a skill set that you can utilize these, look at equipment. I mean, it truly is. All it is nothing more than a tool, right? It's another tool in your toolbox. Putting a specialty type of wrench in your toolbox won't give you the ability to all of a sudden know what to do with it. But if you know what you need to do with that tool gives you the ability to do it more efficiently and do it with some confidence that you've got the right tool for the right job. And that's really what the fishing equipment game is all about. You know, there will come instances where it'll be like a Ford Chevy debate on, you know, who makes the better reel for this or that. Again, that's personal preference. At the end of the day, we're all looking for certain things and equipment to provide certain features that we want, right? And that's really what when your choices come down to it. But having a high-speed reel when you want to pitch and flip at the maximum efficiency is priceless. I can tell you the difference from an 8, from a 6 to an 8, to me is time, at least 1-2 seconds, you know, at least 1 second per cast out on how I can get that bait back up to me and pitch back out there again. You are working more cover, you are working more targets, and you're working more efficient. I could go on for days with examples, but hopefully that sheds some light for you guys out there. Like I said, if you can't get it, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Run with you know, with what you trust, and run with what you can. But also at the same regard, don't shy away from getting the right tool for the right job. You know, as a kid, I pounded enough nails with the blunt end of a screwdriver to know that you can do a lot of different things, but really nothing works as well as a tool that's actually designed to get the job done. So. Yeah, man. So stick with us here, True Patriot Outfitters. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully some of this information was useful to you. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Make sure to subscribe, give us a like, give us a share. We love all the support. Tight lines, be safe, y'all.
Gotta call up, on